What is going on there, everyone? Well, I just sat through a Nancy Pelosi press conference, and God, I gotta say, she's becoming more of a bumbling buffoon as this whole impeachment nonsense and whatnot just stays stagnant. She's losing things she can say for support. I mean, she's losing support with with the Senate Democrats now, and that's gonna be a really big problem for her. But I digress. We'll get into that. Let's start reading this story a little bit. Exclusive. Representative Byrne moves to censure Pelosi for holding up impeachment. I agree with that fully, but I agree with censuring a lot of these Democrats. Representative Byrne will introduce a resolution on Thursday to censure Speaker Nancy Pelosi for obstructing the impeachment proceedings against President Donald Trump. Breitbart News has learned exclusively. Byrne, who is vying for the Republican nomination for U.S. Senate this year from his native Alabama, believes the Speaker has broken congressional precedents by refusing to send the articles of impeachment to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, which is factually correct. Speaker Pelosi's decision to hold the articles of impeachment against President Trump in a pathetic and unconstitutional attempt to extract concessions from the Senate is an unprecedented abuse of power, Byrne told Breitbart News in an exclusive statement. House Democrats made the misguided decision to rush through the most legally unsound and factually unsupported articles of impeachment in the history of this country. And they can't now insist that the Senate fix their shoddy, incomplete work. And with that statement, I agree with fully. Pelosi, you had your chance. Democrats had their chance to make their case as rock solid as they possibly have could have. But they failed to do so because there's no rock solid case there at all. All we got from what 2 or 3 weeks of just pulling teeth like just nonsense that I watched. That was the impeachment trial. All we got was all these Democrats, all of their witnesses were Democrats, and they were all just butthurt. Essentially, that's what it comes down to. Their feelings got hurt. They don't like the way this president makes them feel. Who cares about your feelings? Not me. Hate to tell you, not me. And I hate to tell you, it doesn't seem that most of America cares about your feelings. Ugh. The congressman stated that the House's role in the proceedings was over, and only Pelosi and her allies were left, most notably Representative Jerry Nadler and Adam Schiff, to present the lackluster case they assembled in the Senate, or to the Senate, and let the president finally exercise his right to defend himself. Until then, the leader of this attempt to throw out constitutional norms to remove our president must be held accountable. I agree. We need to hold the Democrats accountable at this point. A whole bunch of them need to be held accountable for the way they've handled this impeachment situation. It's just complete. It's a farce at this point. I mean, God, I don't know what else to say about it. Read that. The move comes as Pelosi is holding up the articles in an effort to push the Senate to adopt rules seen as favorable to Democrats for the impeachment trial. In particular, the Speaker was rumored to be holding out for an agreement by Mitch McConnell to have former National Security Advisor John Bolton testify. The Senate GOP, for its part, seems to not be buying the ruse, with McConnell announcing on Wednesday his caucus would remain united in the face of Pelosi's tactics. And with our two moderate Republican ladies agreeing with Mitch McConnell, because they were the two holdouts, Murkowski and Miss Collins. They were our two holdouts that for a little bit of a time there it was like, I wonder what these two ladies are going to do. But they've thrown their support behind Mitch McConnell, and I do believe the biggest reason they've done that is because Nancy Pelosi just keeps holding on to the articles of impeachment. The longer she holds them, the less credibility she has, even with her own party. It's happening in front of our eyes. We're seeing it. It's unclear if Byrne's resolution will receive bipartisan support in the House, especially as a number of high-profile Democrats have already signaled that Pelosi's stalling effort on impeachment is wearing thin. Oh, and this is one of my favorite quotes. If we are going to do it, she should send them over, Senator Dianne Feinstein, a Democrat in California, Nancy Pelosi's own district, I believe. The ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Committee said on Thursday, I don't want to see what good delay does. Now, since this is coming from Breitbart, I know there's going to be anybody with a left lean saying, oh, it's from Breitbart, blah, blah, blah. Let's jump over to Axios real quick so the lefties can't have but so much fodder. Democrats want Pelosi to send over the articles of impeachment. Yes, please. As House Speaker Nancy Pelosi continues to hold off on transmitting the House articles of impeachment, a growing number of Democrats in the Senate are signaling that they want her to end the stalemate. Well, I'm going to give the rare shout out to these Democrats. Thank you and congratulations. It seems that y'all are starting to see through the haze. The American people are getting sick of this, man. You know how much money and time is being wasted? This affects just us, mainly. This is another day for the politicians. It's just another day, another political bickering fight. Sure, it's affecting us. I mean, there's policies, good policies that should be getting passed that aren't being passed. There's bad policies that need to be getting looked at and discarded that aren't, because everyone's so caught up with this impeachment and it's doing nothing. It's stalemated. Why it matters. Pelosi has said she is withholding the articles from the Senate until she knows what the trial would look like, which is not her responsibility, or she has no justification for that. With some speculating that the delay is intended to pressure Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to call witnesses. However, Mitch McConnell announced Tuesday that he already had enough GOP votes to set the rules for the trial, which would see both sides make their opening arguments before the chamber votes on potential witnesses. Like I stated before, the Democrats in the House had their chance to get their witnesses, do this, do that, do this, do that. Okay. Well, and I'm going to shoot back at McConnell a little bit here. All right, Mitch, if you have the votes to go ahead and set the rules for the trial, do it. Do it, Just get it over with. The people are sick of this. I am personally sick of this. How long does this have to drag on? That's how we know this is all just a political show from the get-go. You have Nancy Pelosi holding articles, which is unprecedented and borderline unconstitutional, if unconstitutional. And then you got Mitch McConnell, who can vote to get this started, and he's just not doing it. Come on, man. I got a little bit of shame to throw both directions on this one. But this is what I was really getting to. This is a small list of Democrats who are sick of this, who are actually getting really fed up. And this is a big deal. This is a very big deal. This is very positive for the Republicans and very bad for Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi has shot herself in the foot to the point she's just walking on some nubs. What they're saying, Senator Dianne Feinstein, quote, if we're going to do it, she should send them over. I don't see what good delay does, per Bloomberg. Good. Senator Richard Blumenthal, we are reaching a point where the articles of impeachment should be sent. Yes. Senator Doug Jones, I'm hoping they will come over here soon. I think most people are ready to get moving on this. Yes. Senator Chris Murphy, I think the time has passed. She should send the articles over. Senator Joe Manchin, I think it's time to turn the articles over and let's see where the Senate can take it. John Tester, we need to get folks to testify and we need more information. But nonetheless, I'm ready. I don't know what leverage we have. It looks like the cake has already been baked. Yeah, that checks out. Chris Coons. I respect the fact that she's concerned about the fact about whether or not there will be a fair trial, but I do think it's time we get on with it. And then Angus King, uh, who caucuses with Democrats? Who? No, I said that weird. Senator Angus King, who caucuses with Democrats. There we go. I don't think her holding them puts any particular pressure on McConnell. It doesn't. Doesn't at all. Yes, but all of these senators would still likely vote to call witnesses after the trial begins. Fair enough. At least they're trying to get the trial started, which is the whole point here. Nancy Pelosi, stop doing whatever you think you're doing, and let's get this show moving. The American people are done. The politicians, your fellow Democratic politicians, are done. Let's just move on. We got way more bigger fish to fry, you know? Come on. But I'd love to hear y'all's opinion, as always. Whether you think what Nancy Pelosi's doing is working. I don't see how you could come to that, but I would love to hear you elaborate if that's how you feel, or whether you think, hey, come on now. It's been like almost a month since you've been holding this up from the American people. Let's just get this over with. Y'all feel y'all's case was so strong. He's such an imminent threat, an existential threat to the United States and the world. Well, it doesn't seem that way. You sure have a funny way of showing that, you know. But yeah, I'd love to hear your comments, and as always, like, share, and subscribe. I will catch y'all on the flip side.